finale. Lessons I've learned since the beginning of the season in self reflection. Number one, you've got to repeat self motivation by means of affirmation, by means of anything that we talked about currently. Um, you've got to continue to repeat that. In motivation mode, in understanding that that's going to continue to change as you evolve. The things that make you tick, the things that are motivational, the things that make you feel good, the things that cause you to have that extra oomph and to go that extra mile, those things are going to continue to change as you
Course is
evolve. The
Felicia
things that
Brogy, and this is our final episode for this season of Positive Tea with Fee. Listen, this finale and the next chapter of everything, I chose to do this. We are actually coming up on a very, very important turning point when a lot of things that I have going on. So, what we're going to do is we're going to reflect. And so, the first area is currently. Currently, my reflection is in place to get a balance on the excess and the SS. Let me say that again, the balance on the excess and the SS. Excess being extra, SS being what I'm available to. Okay, that's currently what I'm doing because currently I'm in a polishing of my purpose. And within that polishing of my purpose, I am learning what things just need to fall off. They're not necessarily good, they're not necessarily bad. It's just something that I don't need to align with right now. And that's okay because I'm at a place where I'm able to understand what's what. Okay? Because remember, the beginning of this season and also the beginning of 2022, we decided that our path, part of that path, is to remember what we need and what we don't need. And we have to go back and do that again. Run it back, run it back, run it back. And be dedicated and devoted to understanding what's what. Okay? As many times as you need to. Over and over again, as many times as you need to. Okay? Also, another thing I'm doing currently is I'm revamping my routine. And in revamping my routine, I am going to be able to do things I never thought I could do. But guess what? I'm getting uncomfortable because getting uncomfortable means that we're eventually going to be comfortable in our purpose. So, you ever heard the expression, it's going to hurt worse before it gets better, or it's going to get bad before it gets better, or it's going to get horrible before it gets better? But regardless, in getting uncomfortable, you're moving to a point to be comfortable. So I got uncomfortable when I decided that regardless of how I feel, every single day I'm starting out with prayer. Every day, starting out with prayer. Okay? I got off track, but currently I'm back on track. I got uncomfortable when I decided, even if it's raining outside, because anyone who knows me, you know I can't stand rain. I think it's an inconvenience. I know the good Lord brings rain so things can grow and things can flourish and things can drain. I understand it's necessary, but I don't like it. Okay. So I decided that even on rainy days, I'm still getting up to do something productive outside the home. And I'm not just talking about work and I'm not just talking about responsibilities. I mean, I'm going to find a reason to be happy. Now, of course, you have to make sure you're safe. If it's a tornado warning or a storm, you don't want to do all that. But with all that said, I'm going to go back to currently, I am in a spot of making myself uncomfortable to be comfortable. Currently, currently the devil is coming from every which direction to try to attack me because I am at a turning point in my life. He knows that. I know that. The atmosphere is aware of that. God knows that. And guess what? I am at a place where getting uncomfortable currently is okay. All over the place. Currently, I am at the peak of my purpose. So once you get to your purpose, you realize it, like we've talked about before, then you begin. And then once you're in motion of your purpose, there's also a peak. You ever been working out and you're just going and going and you're losing weight and you're being healthy, or you're maintaining weight and your heart rate's where it needs to be, and the doctor said that everything's where it needs to be, and then you're like, oh, well, I'm not progressing, I'm not digressing, but I'm not progressing. Peak. So when you get to the peak of your purpose, you got to revamp, you got to rechange. Now you got to figure out also what you need to keep and what you need to let go. So remember, two words: excess, access. That's where I'm at. Currently, that's where I'm at.
Lessons for the second part of this finale. Lessons I've learned since the beginning of the season in self reflection. Number one, you've got to repeat self motivation by means of affirmation, by means of anything that we talked about currently. You've got to continue to repeat that. In motivation mode, in understanding that that's going to continue to change as you evolve. The things that make you tick, the things that are motivational, the things that make you feel good, the things that cause you to have that extra oomph and to go that extra mile, those things are going to continue to change. As you evolve, the things that motivate you must evolve with you. Your circle must evolve with you. The people around you must continue to self motivate individually so that you're able to self motivate as a group. So that's very important. Okay. Number two, stop comparing yourself. Do not compare yourself even to the individuals that you look up to, even to the individuals who have been with you on your journey. Do not compare yourself. Do not hold them up to your standards, and you do not hold yourself up to theirs. Okay? They don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. And so, with that being said, we are all individuals doing the best we can, and we have a chance to fulfill the purpose that was set out for us because Jesus died on that cross. Okay? So, we're all born sinners. We all have to repent over and over again. We all have to continue to strive to put out the energy in the universe that we want to receive. And nobody is above anyone else in that. So don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't be too hard on yourself, but don't be too hard on others. And one thing that I'm really big about on the show, and you guys can attest to this if you've been a supporter and you've watched me, for a while and everything, we're in this together. Okay? So, number three, everybody has their own. That's a big, big lesson I've learned more than one time over. Everybody has their own fears. Everybody has their own tears. Everybody has their own skeletons in their closet that they're not ready for other people to know. Everybody has their own things that they're working on. A lot of people, unfortunately, they don't know that they have things to work on, but you have to still love them regardless of where they are. Just like we want grace, okay, and we want forgiveness, you have to continue to remember everybody deals with their own. There are people walking around who you refuse to forgive, okay? But you need to forgive to get to the next level. Everybody has to deal with their own. Everybody has their own. They have their own bills. They have their own struggles. the person that you're upset with, or you're, wondering, why haven't they did this for me, or why haven't they followed through with that? That very person could be staying up every night wondering where their next meal is going to come from. That very person may actually be planning their next event to make sure that they do something constructive in the community to feed others. We each, as individuals, we're dealing with our own thing. I recently found out that someone that I went to high school with, she's a couple of years younger than me, but she lost one parent last year. Okay. And she's basically in the process of putting the next parent on hospice. And I hadn't heard from her. I wasn't offended by it or anything. But do you know why I wasn't offended by it, and why, when she immediately responded to a message that I should have sent months ago, but I was just waiting for her to reach out to me? And we're both busy, but nonetheless, because that's a lesson that I learned. See, before doing the self development that brought me to where I am today, I was always thinking, A, they don't want to be bothered. Two, they should be the ones, reaching out to me. Two, they should be the ones reaching out to me. Three, I put it in an area of my mind that could go positive or negative depending on my mood. And what I found was, as I continued to walk in my purpose, remembering that everybody has to deal with their own means you need to change your standards. Don't get me wrong. You need to have standards for each relationship, each friendship, situationship, whatever it may be, work, family, community outreach partners, whatever the situation may be. You have to have standards. But as you grow and you decide, this is where I want to be and this is where I'm going to continue to be. So we're not trying to go backwards, we're trying to go forwards. And we're not trying to do things without substance. We're trying to do something that matters, that makes a difference in your life, in your child's life, in people's lives who wouldn't otherwise have those, or people who are like-minded. Because see, one thing about a good supportive circle, when you're weak, I'm strong. When you're strong, I'm weak. And we keep that balance because we're on the same page of working in our purpose. But within that, we still, no matter how close you are, no matter how long you've known someone, no matter how well you feel like you know that person, me, you, and whoever else, you have got to keep in mind, all God's children have to deal with their own. And that's in every aspect. And those lessons are the lessons that continue to pull me through. Because those lessons are lessons that I've learned, not just because I have the knowledge or have the wisdom or have the understanding or the discernment. I have all that because God gave it to me. But I also have the experience. And that comes through trial and error of being the best Felicia that I know how to be.
Hey, you guys. So, for our season finale, I wanted to do things a little bit different. We like to do lives. We like everything to be uh, in motion, real time. My producer is very transparent, has amazing personality. He's a wonderful person, and we really complement each other because we like to be transparent. So, for the season finale, your girl wanted to do something a little different. So I kind of took different aspects. And you'll notice the first one, you could tell I was kind of waking up currently. Okay. Because I wanted you guys to get the feel of that time of day. Okay. And I chose this time Originally, it was on Friday, and then we moved it around, and we both have really busy lives. We've been friends for years and coworkers, so it worked out for both of us, and we're both married and have careers, and so it worked out for us. But I wanted this to kind of be a little bit different so you guys could kind of see me at different stages. So, next, here I am with my next. In the next finale, I have some things that you guys are not wanting to miss. I am taking the show, and the producer's probably like, okay, so taking the show where? But I'm gonna fill him in because I can't do what I do without him. Okay, so we're doing what we do. And I'm letting you guys know that next I am taking the show to a whole new level. Okay. And when I say a new level, I am speaking of new levels of transparency for me. Okay. I'm transparent about some things, but the first season, it was a layer. Second season, it was a layer. Third season, it's going to be a different layer. So you guys do not want to miss that. It's going to be in July, so stay tuned. Okay. Um, I am taking you places that you haven't been before. Okay. Stay tuned for that. Um, and so, so I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my producer. Um, so with that being said, I want you guys to know that it's been about a year since we started this journey. Um, and it's been about a year since you guys have supported me. My replay supporters are amazing. Um, I'm trying to do more things that are more of a current concern, which is going to be amazing because my producer has other shows that are centered around more current events. So I'm going to get him to help, with the technical side of things. But he can talk too. He's not just a behind man, believe it or not. He can talk just as much as me. So that's like so awesome. And so, with that being said, I've got a lot of things that I have in my spirit that I'm going to pray about, and I'm going to release those in the next month or so. And like I said, this is the season finale. I wanted to really come on here and have a talk with you guys. I'm at home in my office. That's where I am probably 90% of the time when I do the podcast. And so I just wanted to kind of invite you guys into my space as you have before. But I want you guys to know that this journey of positive tea with Fee, no matter what I do and where I go, this was a virtual awakening for me. Okay. And this was something that I had on my mind for a while, but I didn't actually put it into practice. And we do that with so many things when we're trying to get an understanding of the direction that we want to go in our purpose. We want things to look a certain way. We want things to sound a certain way. Um and you're going to get situations in life where you're like, "Hey, I'm going to step out," but you're not stepping out on faith. So when you step out on faith, as cliche as that may sound, it has so much meaning because stepping out, you're getting out there. You're not necessarily looking both ways, but you're not necessarily holding on to that faith either. So I stepped out on faith. And when I stepped out on faith, I didn't look back. There's been times where there's been, maybe a technical difficulty here or there, or we had to like change schedule, but I still stuck to it because I know that I'm here for a purpose. And you guys remind me that I'm here for a purpose with the feedback, with the support. And so I want to take us to a level where we can be most effective, okay? Where we together can be most influential in a positive sense. And so I am creating an atmosphere where we can empower each other. This was never about me. This was about a purpose that networks positivity. So that means without Podcast 49, without Mike Carnahan, without God, without my husband, Clark Brogy, without all my supporters, the platforms, and of course, without God, none of this would be possible because it's all piecing together for a purpose. And so God has been giving me a different vision, and that does include all of you. And I just want to say how thankful I am to be able to go to the next level, because the next level, we're not second guessing ourselves. The next level, no technical difficulty formed against any piece of technology will prosper, okay? No negativity formed against us shall prosper. Even sometimes if that has to do with us being like, oh man, that was really goofy. But guess what? It came from me, and it's part of my story. And I decided to get on live knowing that there are billions of people in the world who could possibly tune in or possibly look at, even if they don't follow. But that's okay. You know what? You know why? Because I am doing this for a purpose. I am walking in my purpose and in spreading positivity. In our next chapter, we're not worried about being perfect. Okay. In our next chapter, we're not comparing ourselves. In our next chapter, we're not going and looking back at the page to see how many followers. In our next chapter, we're going to continue to network. Okay. We're going to continue to get ideas, because you may do something that I don't know how to do, and I may do something that you don't know how to do. But when it's all said and it's all done, by us doing it together, we're going to be more instrumental, more positive, and more positively effective, because we're working in the purpose. And that purpose is bigger than me and bigger than you. And the positive networking that we're going to continue to do is going to be taken to a next level, because guess what? I am giving the power to the ultimate being. And that's the one who controls my life, and that's God. And I am so blessed and so fortunate to still have this platform almost a year after we began. All the wonderful people that have shown me a completely different side of them, all the material that I've been able to experience and share, all of myself that I have been able to experience and share. And I am absolutely, positively appreciative beyond words. If there was a word that I could use to describe thankful and excited and happy and appreciative to the umpteenth power, that would be the word. And so I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support this platform, Positive Tea with Fee. And I want you guys to know how much I love you, how much you mean to me. Remember that we're in this together. And I will see you for the next season of Positive Tea with Fee. Thanks so much. Signing off. Bye bye. See you next time.